Everyone, and here I'm back. My name is Shreya. Sorry for the delays and all these live sessions here and there. It was just a technical check. There was no live going on, and there's only one Yaseva sir. There's no many Yaseva sirs over here, which I had to go for the live. And today I'm suffering from a bad cold, in fact. So that was something unexpected as well. So I'll not take much of my time. I'll give a short introduction on sir. So we have today with us on my live with Mr. Yaseva, the discussion forum, which I wanted to take it forward. And to give a little bit about Mr. Yaseva Ananda is the founder of Joy Mission. Joy Mission is an organization and NGO. And he's also a songwriter, producer, and a multi-talented person. And also for all of you, we have a surprise at the end of the session. Sir has a surprise for all of you, and that me and sir only know. It's a suspense. So we have sir also, who's going to talk about today about independent political leadership, the way he had implemented Joy Mission in 8 sections of the society very well, and has brought about sustainable development. So I'm not going to take much of his time, and I'm going to start off the session today. So good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you, Shreya. Nice to.
So you're looking good with the suit and everything. So
thank you.
That's something I'm privileged. Some people are today dressed up and coming. Generally, I don't get people at this. People generally getting up from the bed or something like doing work and then joining my live. That's actually very nice, and the studio setup is too good.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Right. So can we start off today's discussion on independent political leadership? So me and sir were actually discussing, guys, on what is independent political leadership. See, there's something that today child labor is there, there's protection to women, many things are being implemented in the society. But sir feels the spiritual well-being of being associated with certain fields over here is something that is missing. And that is what we're going to hear out from sir today in the live.
Okay. Before I go further, I would just like to, bring the audience to a focal point regarding what we are talking about. Actually, like you rightly said, what we are doing is basically good governance. This is part of a department of good governance under Joyversity, which is a division of Joy Mission, and we have 8 departments, and one of that is good governance. And
okay,
as you know, governance is a very important aspect in society. And if you see in politics, not only in India but world over, there is a lot which can happen, and it has kind of stagnated. It's not fulfilling the desires of people. So across, not to be specific, but across nations, you find corruption levels high. Women are not protected, children are neglected, the poor are not finding a place. So what is it which is kind of preventing good governance from happening? Now, one point which I should mention is that over the years, politics has developed a nexus with business, so which people call as crony capitalism, whereby the political person and the business person get into a nexus for obvious reasons, supporting campaigns and all that. So finally, when people get elected, then they have to turn out policies which are beneficial to the persons who. So right from USA, which is the oldest democracy, to India, which is the largest, you find this problem. So we see high levels of corruption, people getting neglected, and the poor, even in a rich country like USA, you find homeless people in San Francisco. And with this COVID, I was told it was really pathetic. So you can't expect that of a rich nation. Forget India, which is a developing nation. So this has been a big problem with democracy, and we've been trying to see how we could get this on an even keel as such. So that's the predicament, the situation now, which I would sort of, bringing to focus. Why are we doing this, right? And and the second point I would like to mention is among the youth, why is it that we don't see many youth coming up to govern the nation, to govern society, to govern cities, So we find, you could tell me how many of your peers opt for becoming political leaders? Very, very few. Though being a political leader is the highest position in society. All our ministers and all our politicians and the MLAs and the MPs, they are like the olden days kings. They really rule after a certain locality or the place or the corporation thing and all that. So,
right.
But how many of today's youth, how many of the youth from this generation or my generation also opted for becoming political leaders? No one. Very few, very, very few. The reason being that we are worried to get into the system because it only entry is through party politics. And as you know, party politics is a very long-winded thing. And I recently read that there are about 47 parties in India, and out of which 44 are kind of dynastic and family, kind of a situation where even a young, aspiring, and a competent youth or a youngster cannot get into a leadership position because it's taken by people who are up there holding the reins. So this is another thing. So we won't get young people, creative, committed people into the system as of now. There is no, So this is also a very important aspect which I wanted to highlight.
Right.
The reason for which we have initiated this Independent Political Leadership Academy. Yeah.
Yes. So is Independent Political Leadership Academy a part of Joy Mission?
Yeah. Your voice is low.
I guess it's fine now.
Still, voice from here. You're able to hear me well?
Yeah, I'm able to hear you.
Yeah.
Now am I audible?
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. Okay.
Okay.
It's very low.
So coming to the question.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. We can manage it out.
Right.
I guess some problem. Right. No problems on that.
Tell me, Shreyans.
So saying that independent political leadership, is it a part of Joy Mission? And saying that as a part of Joy Mission, what have you done in that to bring about developments?
Come again?
See, now saying that Independent Political Leadership Academy, the IPLA, okay, which is a part of your Joy Mission. Right. Now, what developments have you brought in over here that youth has started changing, and also they have started to realize the well-being of this current topic and scenario?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, see, the unique thing with how we want to handle this whole the problem which is in front of us, whereby we don't have much of grassroots level leadership, is through what we term as Joy Street management. This is a mechanism, if I can call it a soft skill or a process by which we are able to engage residents of a street in good governance.
Right.
It's a participative process whereby residents in a street come together, form themselves into leadership, and then see what are the bigger problems they are facing in the street, whether it is civic or education or whatever, and come together and see how they could work for the joy of everyone. See, Joy Mission actually has the basic foundation is called Joyism, as we call it, where we say that everyone needs to express joy, because that joy is a birthright of every individual, not just one person. So when people are conscious of that, and we are able to bring that at a street level through a mechanism through which people can participate and see how their joy in various departments, like I said, the 8 departments, which includes health, which includes employment, education, environment, energy management. So in all this, how could we all get joy in our lives? Because And for joy, you need to have concern for one another. That's the starting point. You can't be segregating or dividing people, because only then it becomes inclusive. So this Joy Street management has the a potential to develop not only the street in its wholesome way, but also develop the leadership, because
Okay.
people who are going to have the leadership capacity will start coming out of their shells, literally, as they take up leadership positions and as they start working to bring out their and when these leaders, when election comes, and when these leaders stand up and stand for election, because they know the people and the people have seen their work, now they are going to get elected. So, so this is the grassroots kind of transformation which we are bringing, whereby we can nurture grassroots level leadership among the youth who are so committed, who want to do this. So there's no platform. So this joy street management is a kind of a mechanism, if you can call it, whereby we are bringing democracy right down to the street level. It's the last mile connectivity.
Yes.
Now it's staying at the panchayat level or the ward level or whatever level. It hasn't come to the street. Now this brings it to the street, this mechanism, Joy Street Management, and helps.
1 second, sir. 1 second. Just 1 second.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. I'm just going to 1 second. Yeah. Yeah. Now it's fine. You can continue. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is what Joy Street Management, and it uses a system called sociocracy, which is slightly different from democracy in the sense it works on a system of consent rather than consensus. So there is no kind of an opposition. Everyone is on the same direction, that they want to achieve the joy of everyone and see that their desires and what they want get fulfilled. So this is a powerful
Absolutely.
mechanism which we offer at equip people at our academy, whereby leadership qualities develop, and we really equip people, to youngsters especially, where they want to make a difference, for them to emerge as leaders. Yes.
So some instances might have been there in life, and also you might also have personally visualized over some situations, right?
Yeah.
More than we understanding the society as a whole, there might be things that we might have seen that there was a change that had to be required. Okay, in my organizations, when I saw, say that for Rudra, when I started, I found there was a problem that was happening, and I found that it has to be rectified at a point of time, and irrespective of whatever I'm carrying till now. So what is the reason, the main real reason for you to start off IPLA, the Independent Political Leadership Academy?
The reason is because of the lacuna. We really, the way the things are going on. I mean, like the Chinese proverb says, if you don't correct the course where you're heading, you're going to land up where you're going, where you're going at present. It's a very simple thing like that. So personally, I feel, if you can correct me if I'm wrong, in the present system, we don't see any kind of possibility for the young generation of a nation of India to come in and become authentic and genuine leaders. Now, that is not taking place. Now, this was one of the reasons for which we started this whole institute academy as such, and also the process through which we could nurture young political leaders who could be empowered and emboldened to stand up for and serve the society, which is what is needed. So yeah.
Right. I mean, the answers are kind of very wonderful and truly inspiring, what I feel. Now, moving on to the next important question. Now, how can one avail with this Independent Political Leadership Academy? What are the requirements? And till now, how many people have availed this training of yours with Joy Mission?
you could contact us. Perhaps you could furnish some of my contact details. So those who are interested could join us. That's one way. The other way, what we are trying to do is through schools. Now we are trying to take youth from students, middle school, high school, who could who are committed. We speak to them in the schools and tell them how they could take care of their street, see how their street can be improved. Would they be interested? So we have this thing, how, like earlier we mentioned, the spirituality, it starts with the self, then it goes to the family, then it goes to the street. So we can't have any kind of a flourishing to happen straight away in the street level if people are not transformed and committed, or as a whole we are working. So that way, right, like you rightly said, this has a very spiritual foundation, or inclusive, where we want joy, which is the highest of all emotions and spirituality, to become the main pursuit of life. And so how do we make it? So we like to go through to the school level and then reach the children, reach the families, then get them into a cohesive operation through our Joy Street management. And then the whole thing starts, the machine starts moving.
Right, absolutely. And I'm extremely sorry for the cold, what I'm going through. I just had a very bad headache this afternoon, then I slept off. So the cold is kind of very irritating, but yes, right. I think it's better. I'm trying to get rid of it. So one more thing is, based on the current COVID situation, what we're undergoing right now, coronavirus, how do you think that self-governance, local governance, and international as a whole, globally, people are acting to the situation? And what is your opinion on the current government that is doing as a part of the positive things they are trying to do? And what do you think that they can improve over it to avoid such pandemics?
See, I know, this is something which caught everyone by surprise. And now, after, I think we are in lockdown 4, and we are unable to recover, and economically we have gone into a tailspin, literally. But having said that, one big important thing is the commitment of people, commitment of individuals. Like, I don't know, wherever in India, they have these confinement zones where even if a household gets coronavirus, anyone in that, they contain the whole street, and it becomes, a lockdown area, and so all sorts of things like that. But then if people were together, now you would know that by now that improving the immune system of the body is the best thing to do now, because many say that you can't really evict coronavirus from this planet. It's come to stay.
Absolutely.
And most people are going to get it in the next year or two or whatever. But the good news, it's like influenza. We aren't worried about influenza. And if we are able to improve our immune system through natural things like supplements like garlic, ginger, and there are a whole lot of it. So incidentally, that's one of our other institutes which we have under Joyversity, Institute of Excellence, which is called Immunity Improvement Institute, where we deal with this in a deeper level. So just quarantine and kind of what do you call this lockdown of a nation. Now people are thinking twice whether it should have been the right way, but that's past. We have come to another junction. So involvement of people in a process would definitely have helped, and is going to help, because that's what we are doing now in Chennai. Our NGO is also collaborating with the Chennai Corporation and bringing up such kind of people participative initiatives, especially among slums, where community transmission is looked at as a great threat in these days. Yes.
Right. The role of a political leader is not just to actually get votes, and that's very important, that he fulfills the responsibilities of each and every individual in the society. He reaches down to every downtrodden, the society to every high class in the society to ensure that we live in a normal manner, and also it fulfills every happiness, and also we all have access to everything, and we're not denied of anything, and that is when the society will prosper over. And that is why we all as citizens feel that is the role of a political leader, and we go and cast a vote when it comes to elections.
Right.
Now, saying that apparently this is what a political leader does. Today, I feel personally, we have in this pandemic, we have many frontliners. We have volunteers of road tracks, then we have volunteers of inner wheels. Hats off to the student union who are doing that, because they are the real political leaders today, standing in the front line,
Okay.
giving food to everyone. The people who are volunteering out there, like policemen and everyone, they become political leaders because
Right.
they're not the ones that they are being casted, but they actually are fulfilling the society's responsibility, and also ensuring that we have a better future and we all stand together. So, what is your opinion on this?
Yeah, I mean, what you said by, this whole virus threat has thrown up this whole, I mean, the by default, the leadership among normal citizens is really coming up. And actually, you brought a valid point in the sense that being in a democratic nation, it's not that political leadership belongs to one group of people, or actually in a democracy, everyone has the democratic right to see that we get good governance and to participate.
Absolutely.
Now, most times people think that casting a vote is the only form of exercising a democratic right. That is just one aspect. We have to participate, engage in the system on a day-to-day basis. Now that is not happening. If you know, it's not happening anywhere. But the coronavirus, as you said, has brought that out. So it has brought out people from different walks of life, whether they are police people or medical line, or whoever, or volunteers itself, or people who are just distributing food for those who are, traveling and who don't have. Now, these are the leadership qualities by default which is happening. Now, if it was possible to channelize and foster these people to take a bigger role into take the power of leadership for the community and bring the good which they want to do. Now, this will be amazing. Very big point you brought out, because this has really brought out the leadership quality, the innate leadership quality in every person, that they want to do something,
Right.
they're concerned, and how they want to share and how they want to stand up. Yeah, very much. So this is what the Independent Political Leadership Academy wants to nurture in a wholesome way, because then they become long-term leaders of society, and we can have good governance.
You were since the 90s, and I was just a person who was being born in 2000. So
Okay.
I don't know whether I was existing when you were there. Okay, that is something which everyone knows about it. Okay, jokes apart. So knowing that those days in the 90s,
Yeah.
from Indira Gandhi's time, Rajiv Gandhi, all inspirational people, where people actually consider them as God because they did something beyond the something that they had to do for the society. And
Right.
today, to the current politics, we have one of the prime ministers, Narendra Modi, who's actually doing a wonderful job to the society and fulfilling the Aam Aadmi's requirement. Aam Aadmi is the common man over here. What
Right.
is the difference that you have found from a young kid when you grew up yourself to today you are, from then to now?
I know the dynamics are totally different, because, like you said, the Congress party, they're the ones who brought independence to India. That was their mandate. Now, if you come to the south, we have our Dravidian parties, which brought a lot of self dignity into the system, and each one had come in and done their part, and some are still working on it. But having said that, like I said, there is much more ground to be covered. Now, what has happened in politics is everything has become very reactionary. When there is a problem which happens, then everyone comes in and, gives an opinion and, this and that. So it's become a more a reactionary system than a proactive system. See, actually, at the end of the day, what do people want? They all want happiness. They all want to be have peace in their lives, and they want to be joyful. Now, I don't
Absolutely.
see, that happening or that as a manifesto in mostly anything, in every department, honestly. I've not been able, I mean, we have so much of, kind of volumes of documents done, but the basic, the feel of people to be peaceful, to be happy. Now, how do we achieve this? So that's why, like I rightly said, and this is like you can call it a forecast or a prophetic call or whatever you want to call it,
Right.
because if you see the future is, I mean, I'm not disparity to anyone who is doing this, but you see political parties slowly, many of them are in a decline. They're not able to hold their people. That's where the future is going to be independent political leaders having a single objective, that they're going to give joy to the people, that they're going to give peace to the people, that they're going to see that all the things. Now, a coalition of these people, is going to be the leadership control in the future. That's the way
Right.
I see it, because I'm working on multiple fronts. So there is a bit of forecasting which comes because you're eat, living, and sleeping in this scenario. So, and we have been sharing this with. That's how we encourage those who join us also, because this is a trend which is going to take place in politics, and we want our youth to be equipped in this whole trend and start a movement. So by independent political individual persons coming together on a common ideology will be able to deliver to the people what the people want.
And add on to Sir's point, what he said, today politics doesn't stand that you have to become a BJP party, you need to form in the society, otherwise you need to form an Aam Aadmi party or something like that. That is
Right,
not necessary. But what
right,
is the main thing over here is the identifying what is the main thing that is missing in the society. What you feel, what you visualize is that is very important. And I request every audience of here, whoever is going to watch this video, that is very very important, that you need to know what is missing here in the society and also see if there's a chance and possibility of covering over the requirements and managing it out. That
right,
matters a lot, and also it brings about many smiles in many people. And this is not just helping out one or two people, you're helping millions, because
right,
that one or two people are the ones who have to go and share this with the people who they stay with, their friends, their family, their relatives, and everyone out there.
right,
So this is what is Joy Mission all about, I believe. And Joy Mission is about promoting happiness, as Sir said. Now, moving on to the very next question. Today, we are actually, I'm kind of framing the question. So I forgot it. So one second. So basically, uh, saying that people have enrolled in your Joy Mission for this IPLA, the Independent Political Leadership Academy. What is the outcome been so far, and how has the progress been tracked? And can you share an example of any individual, and by naming him anonymous and not disclosing him, on how he has undertook the training, and what developments have you seen in him till now? And you feel he's that person that he'll be able to take it forward.
right. Now, we have our office in Chennai, and we also
Yeah,
have a center close to Mahabalipuram. If you're familiar with Mahabalipuram, it's a tourist town close to Chennai,
absolutely.
and we have a learning center there. And like I told you, it's a very, if I can use the word sensitive, it's a very, the topic, with the result, you'll be surprised that when we go to colleges and talk that we want to give them awareness on politics, immediately what they think is party politics. So they say, no, no, no,
Right.
no, we don't want, getting into trouble and blah, blah, and all that. So, they get defensive, and because why invite trouble? it's so polarized, the whole situation. So our strategy, which we are doing now, is we are coming into connecting with the school students, the like I said, the middle school, high school, because college kids, students, sorry for the using college kids, college students are having their own pursuits and their own kind of, they're already on a top gear kind of a thing. But in schools, we find more receptivity because their minds are young, and they are, especially if they're in the 7th, 8th, and 9th standards, where we talk to them and tell them this is the life, project the life which they want. Wouldn't it be nice if all the students in their street would like to aspire and get what they want, where there is no violence in the family, where people are able to educate them if somebody is not having some resources, how someone else in the street or someone else can support, so they don't feel isolated. Or most, because now in a way society is becoming very isolated to themselves, and now, but that this coronavirus thing is breaking it down. But we are trying to see that's why in the street how all this can happen, so we tell the student, okay, don't you see that you need joy in your life? Don't you think you want to be happy? So they say, yes, we want to do that. Then we tell them, okay, then we will come to your home, and why don't you invite us to your home, to your street, and so that we can come and share this to your family also. Because the family also wants good to happen, but there is no system now which is able to nurture and foster that. So it's just education.
Absolutely.
And getting the highest job, getting the highest pay packet. I mean, these are the things which are focused on, rather than whether my child is able, the talents they have come up, whether they are going to be joyful in their life. Not that the parents don't want that to happen. It's just that the system doesn't allow, is not equipped. Now that's one big role of Joyversity, because Joyversity is going to, it connects with students, especially schools from primary, so that they are able to, apart from the JOB, which is given in a, equipping people for job, we give JOY, which is now not happening at all. So that in every section, environment, health, everything. So which means that they become more equipped. And so coming back to the earlier question, so through the children, we enter the family and tell them, please take a responsibility for your street, become leaders in your street, invite your friends, form this Joy Street Management, and we'll show you how this whole thing can become more cohesive, and so that your dreams and desires are achieved. Now that is the strategy. And in the future, we want to keep Mahabalipuram as a place where, because it's close to our learning center, where we want to really focus and make a model, if you can call it, because that's what is on our cards, and the future is going to be like that. Yes. And the receptivity is very good, because at the end of the day, everybody wants to be happy and joyful, as I told you.
Right. It's wonderful. I mean, what you're trying to do is completely holistic.
How we approach this.
I'm sorry?
No, does this clarify what you asked, how we are going to approach this?
Yes, it does. It does. And in clarity, it explains me what I need, what I'm trying to understand. Because before the session, I was very doubtful when I spoke to you also still on what is this IPLA all about. And then when you explain me, that is when I'm getting a clarity. And I'd like to conclude with a very short note on this. A political leader from this lecture, from this entire session, what we understood from each other, okay, and what especially I understood within myself. A political leader is a person who takes happiness forward with him, and that is very important. Like a joy street, seeing a young kid, okay, who goes and forms a joy street with 8 people and keeps them happy, saying that it can be anyone. Say that today I go to my neighbors, make them happy, smile, and talk to them, and do. I become a political leader within myself, because you're fulfilling one's responsibility and also ensuring that they're happy in the future. That is very, very important. And this is how we all instill well-being among us. And I feel this is something which all of us in the society should do, as we have already started on this, and yet we'll continue to do it in the future as well. So moving on to we are almost going to end the session, and today we are going to reveal out the surprise for everyone on what we're going to do. So here we are. Sir is going to play us guitar with a song from Rabindranath Tagore. So I'm just going to lay the forum up to you and open the comment section so that people can love your music. Sorry?
How many more minutes do we have?
Right, we are having around 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay, great.
Right.
Because the song is a very short one. And
no problems. We can do that and have a short discussion on a computer.
And I was so
I have more
impressed with
questions
it.
for you.
So
right.
Let me do this for you. Hope you like it.
Right. Thank you. So when did you start learning guitar from?
Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear streams of reason has not lost its way into dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country away. Into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country away. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear streams of reason has not lost its way into dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. Into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake.
Wow, wonderful. I mean, it's truly something which my cold also got rid of it. So by using the song. So tell me one thing. When did you start learning guitar from?
Through college, but it's just now after, for the past about 20 years, I've been composing songs. The melody is mine, so wonderful. I write songs which are thematic and I'm not a performer. Since he requested me, I performed. But most of my songs I compose and I give it to either a music director or a group so that people perform and a better singer than me sings it. So
So, which was the recent one that you had given it to a director or producer? Any song that
I
you had
have some
given?
songs in Tamil which we have done. And like I said, it's thematic. I have a whole concert on climate change and global warming, which we perform with school children. So over the years, I've written about 90 songs, 80, 90 songs, and yeah, all thematic. Yes.
Wow.
Different topics.
Wonderful. I'd say this is truly inspiring because at this age, people are not into it, and I see you as a person who's quite energetic and into certain things like this. I need to take guitar classes from you next time when I come with you. Right. So,
Sure.
guys, Joy Mission is not just into classes and training for YLPA and other things, but also Yaseva sir teaches for his special students, for the ones good performers, the guitar as well, and also helps them in producing music as well. So, right.
Yeah, in fact, Joyversity, we have music, art, dance, and drama, as so that we can use these art forms to convey, good values into society. This is one department of Joyversity where we really equip and encourage those with talents. In, like I said, told you about music, art, dance, how they could use these skills to communicate what's uplifting messages and people building messages. Yes,
absolutely. That's quite wonderful. So do you have any questions to me? Because I don't have any questions to you, and you have covered whatever I had within my queries within me. So do you have any questions, or do you want to ask me something?
I would say, like I told you, school students, I would love to see, because we did this work with a college in Chennai, a college where we asked the same thing, so that youth like you, I must give you a compliment at your age, to just like you did for me, to understand and realize and to be authentic in terms of understanding the future and growing with new thoughts. Now, that's beautiful. Now, how do we bring it to practice? So it will be really superb if you could, lead, if I can say, a movement of youth who can really come in and take this political leadership, the highest form of, highest career, if I can call it. If that can be a career option for youth like you, like others who are really wanting to make a difference. Now, that's something which will really be very important, which will be really worthwhile if you could, nurture that and because peer to peer, it's very important. From me, you, but from you to your own peers, they understand better and they will be able to, come more confidently into, this arena, which is very, very important for the future of society. Yes. So this is something I would really place before you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the compliment on that. And I'll surely ensure that I can take. And for the ones out here, in fact, me and sir are planning to do projects together and see that we can take YLPA as well as Joy Mission together in the future for better developments and for a better future. And I think this session was quite uh, interesting, as well as it was quite useful for me as well as a person. And hope all of you had done. It threw a lot of light into certain enlightening statements out here and what we have to do in the society from today onwards and this minute onwards to bring about a revolutionary change. And this is something which can be done, and there's no budget involved in this. This is just about us getting through it, and also our happiness and donating to humanity.
Very, very big point.
Something
Because like
we
you
need
said,
to
it
ensure.
doesn't cost anything. It's just that wherever you are, because everyone is living in a home, everyone is living in a street. Now, if they take responsibility for that, we can really make a difference.
Yes, absolutely. You're true, sir. Right. Thank you so much. I guess YLPA and Joy Mission is not something that we can do it in 1 hour of time, but we actually covered over a little bit of framework and what today we wanted to convey down to people. And see that this video is going to go on YouTube and people are going to watch it. So many people are going to inspire, and that is what we look forward, that they contact you back for trainings as well. And guys, sir's website is on my Instagram post out there. and you can follow him over there. Soon sir is going to have an Instagram page as well, and once you get it, I'm going to update all of you so that you can follow him and also get in contact with him. Meanwhile, the ones who want to understand more about his mission and his NGO and be a part of it, you can look into his website and also contact Yaseva sir. He's there to always get in touch with you guys and solve out your queries and help you for a better future. Thank you so much, sir, and thanks for coming today's session and making this evening a beautiful one. Thank you so much.
Thanks to you, Shreyas. Have a nice
Thank
evening.
you, sir. Thank you. Have a nice evening. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Right. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks to the ones who are watching it. And I'm here to get more live sessions this quarantine to make it much more better. And don't worry, guys, for the ones who have missed it, it's going to go on YouTube so that you guys can watch it and you can share it with your friends. And please do subscribe to my YouTube channel for me to get much more better content as well. And thank you so much for it. And let's see you guys on Sunday with one of the special person on live. He's a chef and a faculty of hospitality management. And here we're going to discuss something that is beyond something for the future. And this is going to help all the people who want to pursue their career in hospitality management, and also they want to become a chef or something, for all the food entrepreneurs, right? So thank you so much. And also sorry for the bad health I was going through. So hope you all have a nice evening. See you all.